Alright everybody, welcome to another edition of Bill Chasing the Movies, and we got a bunch more new films for you to review this week. 7 by my count, and the first one is Easy A, and this is finally, and I mean finally, after headache after headache after headache, a PG-13 comedy that works. This movie is smart, clever, engaging, and its characters are really well written. It's an underlying social commentary of high school living, and I loved it. Emma Stone plays Olive, and Emma Stone, of course, has gained her fame in another teen comedy called Superbad, that one of the R-rated variety, and more notably grew as an actress in the film Zombieland last year. She has a bit of this aggressive charm, I guess you could say, to her, like sort of like what Julia Stiles had some 11 years ago when she did 10 Things I Hate About You before she fell into the whole typical teenage comedy thingy. But then Emma Stone really seems to be smart. Her characters seem to have her elements of smarts as it seems to just ring out loud in every movie she does. And here, as I was trying to say, she plays Olive, just someone who goes unnoticed in a small eastern high school. And how someone like Emma Stone goes unnoticed is really beyond me, because in my school she would have turned everybody's head, let me tell you. But she plays someone who, again, has gone largely unnoticed. But see, the thing is, she doesn't think that the element of, I could just say, teen sex is, a big deal. But at the same time, though, she has not lost her virginity. But in order to maintain a different kind of, I could say, overall bravado or personality, she concocts this ridiculous story that she lost it to a college guy. But then, of course, this is overheard by Marianne, the goody-goody, religious, clean teen sweetheart, played by Amanda Bynes, who is actually really funny here. Now, of course, when the rumor gets out, of course, Bynes playing the phony baloney, radical religious type, kind of like it almost reminds you a bit more of an over-the-top version of Mandy Moore's character in the movie Saved some 5-6 years ago. Check that one out if you can find it. Great movie. Here, it seems as though when the character of Olive loses, gains one reputation and loses one as a, I guess you could say, clean girl, she gains another. People see her as someone who's gained so many adventures and has lived amongst the fun parts of the world, and by that I mean enjoying different elements that these teens have not. And by gaining that reputation, she uses it for the good. For example, she has this friend who is gay and gets dealt a really rough time. Now, again, that's a bit unrealistic, saying the fact that, well, the way I see it today, yes, people, there are people against gay people still. In high school, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from some of my teenage cousins and whatnot, that it's been generally accepted in most parts. But yeah, it works within this movie, and they put it in a proper context where there's a scene where Olive and her friend make believe that they've engaged in a little something, and so for people to ease off them, all of a sudden, people see her as this someone who they need a stamp of approval from. And this really, of course, enhances the rivalry between Marianne and Olive. And I don't know why Amanda Bynes would want to retire from acting. She is wonderful here. I really enjoyed her playing the villainess, I guess you could say, of this story. I think that she found a new element to herself that could really work. I mean, I know Amanda Bynes is trying to get away from the teen genre, but really, at the same time, I think she's starting to grow as an actress finally. And I've liked Amanda Bynes in her other films, but I think it was time for her to grow up. And even though this is still a teen character, it's still a new dynamic to her, which she really desperately needed. And she really does a swell job here. I'm sorry if I said the word swell. But the thing about this movie is that also the supporting characters also help things along too. Stanley Tucci and Patricia Clarkson who we saw last week in the terrible film Legendary, and Stanley Tucci, of course, Oscar nominated last year for The Lovely Bones. Really, Tucci's just proven to be one of the most versatile supporting characters in all of Hollywood. He is really good here. He also is channeling J.K. Simmons in a way. Of course, J.K. Simmons in Juno. And it seems that they have that same type of mentality that Juno's parents had, where they're caring, they're loving, they're understanding, and they just want what's best ultimately for their daughter, and their concerns are legit and valid, but not over the top and overprotective and idiotic. They are just down to earth, regular people, but they're also quite funny here. Also really good here is Thomas Hayden Church, of course the Oscar nominee for Sideways, who's been rattled with doing good performances in bad films, and he is really good here as her teacher, his teacher, and of course Lisa Kudrow, proving to be really funny in movies lately, plays his estranged wife, and that storyline there, where surrounding all of his world, I guess you could say, really takes this film into a nice direction as well. The fact of the matter is, Easy A is a teen comedy that I have been waiting for. While comedies like Superbad are that of the raunchy aspect of things, Easy A goes a different route, and it works. And I wasn't expecting much seeing the preview of this film. Emma Stone is a smart actress. She knows her character, she knows her roles, and she knows how to pick them. I give Easy A 4 stars out of 5.